What's up, fragrant family? This is Tyler with Simply Fragrances, and today this video is actually brought to you by you guys. That's right, the subscribers. So I've had a couple of subscribers reach out to me. One left a one left a comment. Another one was a good buddy of mine. He just asked me personally, and then I've had a couple people message me, and they're all asking for me to do a video on kind of the basics of cologne. So like maybe like how to wear it, where to apply it, seasons, occasions, stuff like that. So I don't want to make this video super long because I could go literally on for hours about stuff. So I'm gonna try and keep it, pretty short, but I do want to cover things that I think are essential. So yeah, really excited to bring this to you guys. So thank you guys, honestly, for reaching out to me and feeling comfortable enough to kind of get my opinions and my advice on the basics of cologne, so to speak. So this video is really not going to be for those who are in the frag com or have been in the fragrance game for a while, unless you maybe want to learn a couple new tips. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you already know everything. I don't know everything, but I'm going to give kind of my kind of 101s, so to speak, on what I think are good tips and advice. So if you guys want to continue this, by all means do it. This isn't really for, like I said, the people who have been here a while. This is more for the novice and people who are getting introduced into the fragrance game. So really excited for this, guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead, hit the red subscribe button. Really does help me out. Give the video a thumbs up and we'll go ahead and get started. So I guess the first thing that I want to talk about is storage. So that's going to be a huge factor into the fragrances. So the reason why I say that is because you might think, well, why wouldn't you pick out a fragrance? Why wouldn't you research your fragrance first? Well, in my honest, humble opinion, if you don't have a good place to store it, there's no point in even researching. So key factors: you got to keep it away from sunlight and you got to keep it away from outside elements. So don't be putting your fragrances in your car, places like that to where the temperature is going to fluctuate a lot, where it's direct sunlight, because those really do shorten the life of the fragrance. So places I recommend: anywhere that's away from windows, anywhere that's away from sliding doors or doors in general, and away from bathrooms. Now the reason why is those places, all three of them, the temperature is going to fluctuate depending on the temperature outside or in the bathroom, if you have the shower going or not. Fragrances honestly do last and keep for a very long time if you store them properly, and sunlight is another big factor that can really shorten the life of your fragrance. So away from windows, doors, sliding doors, outside elements, the car, bathroom, just don't be doing that. So once you have a proper storage, I recommend a shelf, maybe a safe, maybe even inside your closet, since it's there's no natural light that's getting in there. Cool and dark places make fragrances last longer than even the shelf life on the bottle can suggest. So definitely the first thing that I would recommend: good storage. Okay, so I've already said it, I'm not gonna say it again. So good storage. Then after that, maybe research a fragrance that, maybe I want to smell fresh, or I want to smell more masculine, or I want to smell sweet. Those are all things that, to take into consideration. And then once you get kind of a note breakdown of what you think you might like, then I would recommend going and sampling it at like a Macy's, Dillard's, JCPenney, Sephora, places like that, if you have those. Now, if you don't have them, then I would recommend getting onto like a sample site online, and that way, if you have to purchase it, then you're only spending a small amount of money versus blind buying and getting a fragrance that you might not like. So sample after you do some research, thinking, you know what, I kind of like this. I like this note breakdown. I do like citruses, or maybe I like more florals, or maybe I like more stronger masculine notes in there. So definitely do some research before you just go out blind buying. Now, if you've been in it for a little bit and you kind of think, you know what, I know I like fresh, I know I like aquatics, maybe I want to try, something new, and it has these notes that I already like, maybe you'd be okay with blind buying, but I never really recommend that. So storage, and then sampling and research. Now next, whenever you get your fragrances, obviously you need to know how to apply them and where to, and maybe some tips along the way of how to make them last a little bit longer. So that would get us into occasions and seasons. So I have two fragrances here, polar opposites. So both, I love these fragrances to death. So we have Creed Erolva, still looking for a cap, guys, so if you know anyone, let me know. And then Parfums de Marly Herod. Now both super amazing fragrances, both heavy hitters in the fragrance game, but complete opposites. So I would not really like to wear this one, say in the dead of winter, not because it's going to smell bad, but because of the performance issues. And then on this one, I would not want to wear this in the dead heat of summer because of the same issue, the performance, only on the opposite direction. So I'll get explaining what I mean. So with Creed Erolva, this is a more light, fresh, refreshing type of fragrance. So suited really honestly for like spring and summer. You could wear this all year round, but as I stated, the performance in the fall and winter months might not be what you want it to be. So in the cooler air, might not project as long, and the colder weather might kind of dampen the strength of the fragrance. So sometimes a fragrance can be, really good in the summertime and not so good in the wintertime based on the molecules and stuff that are in the oils and stuff like that. So definitely something to consider. So something that's light, bright, citrusy, maybe suited more for the summer and springtime. However, with Parfums de Marly Herod, this is a more sweet honey and tobacco, kind of heavier fragrance, suited more for the fall and winter time, because those colder, winds and stuff like that, colder climates are going to make those fragrance notes more attractive, and they're going to activate in a different way than it would in the summertime. If you sprayed this on, this is a, like I said, warm, sweet honey tobacco type of fragrance. If you spray this on when it's 98 degrees with 90% humidity, you're going to get a headache, you're going to feel sticky and hot, and it's not going to do what you want it to do. However, if it's 20 degrees outside and you get a nice, kind of, let's see, what's the word I'm looking for, a pea coat or a nice jacket, stuff like that, you dressed apart, this is not only going to make you smell great, but it's also going to kind of go with the overall package of what you're wearing and the climate outside. So definitely think about those kind of things before you just, buy a fragrance and say, I like the bottle, I like the notes in here, so I think it'd be good to wear all year round. No, that goes back to the research. So times and occasions to wear it do play a factor. Now, once you actually have your fragrance and you're like, I'm going to wear this on this occasion, I'm going to wear this for this day, stuff like that, where would you apply it? Now, here's what I do. You can take it, you can adapt it, you can not do it at all. It's kind of whatever you want to do. What I do is I typically do, depending on the fragrance, I do anywhere from 4 to 6 sprays is my typical range. Now, if it's a super light fragrance, then I'll apply even heavier, but I'll save that for a different video. So with Creed Erolva, what I would do is I would do 1 spray on this side of my neck, 1 spray on this side of my neck, 1 spray in the front of my neck, and then 1 spray on the back of my neck. Now, since this is a little bit lighter of a fragrance, I would add an additional 2 sprays, and I would do it on the top of my shirt on each side. Now, the reason why, it's going to hold to my shirt, it's going to give it something to stick to even more than skin, but it's also close enough to the area that I've sprayed it that I'm going to get an overall good projection, a good sillage or scent bubble as we call it. And it's going to project even better. You're going to have more of a center of mass that the fragrance is around. Now, that's just my, recommendations. I do know people, they'll do, on their neck, and then they'll also spray the inners of their elbows, because that's also a good point of body heat. Now, as your body moves and heats up, that's going to make the fragrance project more, and it's going to perform better. So I know people, they'll spray it on, like I said, on the inside of their elbows or on the inners of their wrist, just because those are also good pulse points. I have heard of this only from a couple people. I've never done it, but spraying the back of your kneecaps, because in the summertime as you walk, it might pull up that scent as it's walking with the wind. I don't know, never done it before, so I just mainly do with my neck because that's the center of mass. But also sometimes I'll pull my shirt down a little bit and spray the inner of my neck, so that way it holds to that shirt, and it's kind of just like a smell for me. In case I go nose blind to everything around me, I got this coming up through my shirt and I can continue to smell it. So that is just what I do. Now, ways to make it last a little bit longer. So say if you have a fragrance that's really light and you're not getting a good amount of projection, or you're not getting a good longevity off of it, good performance off of it, what you can do, and what I've done before, is either just spray heavier. So like one of my favorites, Mont Blanc Stalwalker, really love that fragrance, but it doesn't last very long or project very well. So I'll do 10 to 12 sprays on that. So I'll do 2 sprays each side of my neck, so 2, 4, 6, 8, and then I'll do 1 and 2. So there's 10 sprays there, and then I have kind of adapted this just depending on how light it is. I'll even do the inners of my elbows because I talk with my hands. I'm Italian, and so, you know, we're always talking with our hands and stuff, so it kind of wafts it. So that's just another way to do it. Or you can get a unscented lotion. Now it has to be unscented, otherwise that scent is going to mess with the smell of your cologne. So get an unscented lotion, you know, get a nice little, you know, dollop or whatnot, rub it on your hands, rub it onto the area where you want to apply the fragrance, and that's going to give it something that it can stick to. So it's not going to, if your skin's dry or it just, you know, needs something to help hold it to, that lotion is going to give it kind of a binding factor to stick to. So that's kind of it, guys. I mean, I covered a lot in, you know, kind of a short amount of time. Hope I didn't ramble too much, but those are honestly kind of the 101s. You know, just a quick introductory to, you know, collecting and getting fragrances that I think that would benefit you guys. So, yeah, guys, that's gonna kind of do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for reaching out to me, commenting down below, and just asking, you know, kind of tips on that. So, you know, anything else you guys want to know, feel free, message me. You know, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, places like that. Feel free to message me if you have any video suggestions that you want me to do. I'm always glad to take those suggestions and incorporate those into my video rotation. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. That's gonna do it. So like, share, comment down below if this was helpful. If not, that's fine. You know, I'll catch you guys on the next video. So all right, guys, that's gonna do it. Like I always say, if you love it, wear it.